Hello everyone, I am Komal Mehta, teaching as an assistant professor in CSC department in St. Andrew Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. Today, I will cover about system development life cycle. So let's begin. What do you mean by a system? As I discussed in my previous video, the system is an organized relationship among the functioning unit and the components. It is a grouping of interdependent components that link together according to plan to achieve some specific goal or objective. So there exists one life cycle, one standard life cycle that is called a system development life cycle. It is a completely conceptual model used in project management that describes the stages involved in an information system development project from an initial feasibility study through maintenance of the completed application. So we can say from the starting to end, whatever we are required to achieve that particular objective, the whole process is called as its life cycle. As we also have particular life cycle, human beings initially just born, then child, and then adult age. After that, they being mature. After that, aged, and then die. So this is particular life cycle for us. That's similar to about the system. In system, there are multiple stages. After one stage complete, next stage will start. Once the output of first stage is released, then the input of second stage is achieved. The similar way as of human beings. Various methodology have been developed to guide the process involved, such as waterfall model, rapid application model, spiral model, iterative model. We can also combine all of these models in our, it is completely our choice, and make a hybrid methodology as well. So first thing we are required is its feasibility. Before that, what do you mean by a documentation? To perform any task, first step is documentation. That is the important task regardless of the methodology used. It means it doesn't matter whatever we are using the particular methodology, we must perform documentation before doing anything. It is done in parallel with the development process. For example, if I want to perform some operations on my system and also need some data from the internet or from my drive, so can I do it in a parallel way? Yes, I can do it in a parallel way. Why so? Firstly, I'll copy the whole data and then paste at particular folder and then perform my task. So copy pasting is performing side by side at the back end, and at front end, I am doing my particular task. This is called a parallel process. So let's start about the stages. Firstly, after documentation, feasibility study. It is used to determine if the project is possible or not. That means whether the project is what I am thinking about my project is possible or not. Am I doing right or wrong? That whole process is doing in a feasibility study. If project is possible, feasibility study will produce project plan and budget estimate for future development of the project. Guys, it is as simple as that. If I want to purchase a $10,000, then how can it is possible? If I don't have that much amount, is it possible to buy anything about $10,000? No, it's not possible. But if I have a capability of purchasing that particular thing, then it is feasible. So feasibility means whether is it possible for us to perform that particular task or not. If it is possible, then what is the budget estimate? How can I do it? The whole process is starting, that is planning is done for the future development. Next is requirement analysis and designing. If the project that we want to do is possible to done, then what are the requirements to perform that particular project? So all the requirements, whatever the designing I need, is done in this particular phase. Analysis gathers the requirements for the system. Once the analysis is done, then designing process will start. This stage includes a detailed study of the business need of an organization. For example, I want to open my own startup. Before opening my own startup, I must need to know about how much I will pay for that, how much money I required for this, whatever be the requirements, that is hall, chair, table, accessories, whatever be the requirements, all these are done in this particular phase. If once I'm done with that particular requirements, then I move to the particular designing. That means whatever we want in my project, in my startup, the designing what I want to choose. So then we will focus on designing. It is on high level design, like what program needed and how are they going to interact with each other. Low level designing, like how individual program are going to work. Let us suppose I am open my own startup, then I need manager, I need CEO, I know I need all other employees. So at high level, I am thinking about how I am communicating with rest of the companies already opened or rest of the startups open. This is the high level thinking, and how can I compete with them? This is also a high level. But at low level, I'm thinking about how much I will pay to the each employee, how each employee will work, how my manager will work, how can they interact with each other, the communication between each other. So these are the low level designing. In interface designing, how interface will work, and data design means what data will be required. That means how they communicate within the premises is done in the interface designing and the data designing. During the requirement analysis and designing phase, the software is defined. Analysis and design are important in development life cycle. If I am performing my wrong task in requirement analysis and designing, then I have to face the problem in future, because once I am getting the wrong information from previous phase, I can't recover that. I have to roll back all the stages. That's why every phase is important, but this particular one is expensive, time consuming, and damn important about the all the phases. Next is implementation. Once the previous phase is done, it translated into the code. That means once I'm thinking about I'm taking again same example, I'm opening my own startup. If I want to open my own startup, I need, let us suppose, 10 employees, one manager, one CEO, and there are 10 tables, 10 chairs, 10 systems, and so on. Okay, now uh, when I am completed with that particular thing, then I'm thinking that let's do it. I'll move to the implementation part. It means I'll order all these necessary things, whichever I need. I'll hire employees for by interview so that I can open my own startup. Right? This is called as an implementation phase. So, in programming terms, there are tools like compiler, interpreter, debuggers are used to generate the code. One by one converter or the whole code is complete compiled by the compiler. Debugger check whether there is any error or not. So there are different tools that helps in implementation phase. At high level language, we are using C, C++, Java, Python. There are so many other languages are recently used for a coding. With respect of application, right program language is used. It is also a time taking part, because once the coding part is done, almost we have done with the whole implementation. Now we have to just test whether we have done right things or wrong. If anything wrong, then how can we overcome particular that thing. Next phase is testing. In this phase, the system is tested. Normally, programs are written as a series of individual modules. These are the subject to separate and detailed tests. It means to test the whole system, we need this particular phase. The system is then tested as a whole. The separate modules are brought together and tested as a complete system. Once I am done with the splitted parts, splitted modules, firstly, I will test limited parts, limited modules, and then merge them and then again test. The system is tested to ensure that interface between modules work or not. In my example, if I'm taking again startup example, then if I think the work is not done properly, then firstly I'll check whether the communication between all the employees hired is proper or not. If they are properly communicated, then I will move to other problem, other situation, right? So firstly I'll test limited and short part. That is called as a module. So once I'll cover with all the modules, then I will merge these particular modules and then again test. The system works on the intended platform with the expected volume of a data, and the system does what the user requires. The, uh, See, the whole process is done to achieve the particular objective that user wants, right? So to perform that particular task, the testing is also checked whether this output is expected or not. If it is expected, it means it helps to achieve the future goal. If it is not accepted, then there is some error, right? Next is, if there is no error I am expecting, then maintenance phase. The system also need maintenance. It is as simple as that. If I am teaching at somewhere, then also I want my salary, right? Else I'll not teach. Am I right or not? If I'm doing any input, then I need output, right? So to achieve the output, we must have to put some input. So once I am doing with all the previous phase, I must check whether this also expect anything else. So every system also needs maintenance at particular phase. Software will change once it will delivered to the customer. There are many reasons for the change. That means change could happen because of some unexpected input values into the system. It can be possible whether we are required that particular changes or no. So it is not expected, or sometimes it is unexpected, or sometimes it is expected that there is some changes will happen with the due to some error, due to some code error, or anything else. In addition, the changes in the system could directly affect the software operation. That means some changes affect directly on the system, or some changes indirectly affect the system. The software should be developed to accommodate the change that could happen during the post implementation period. It means that changes will happen after the implementation phase. Once the implementation is done, we will get to know about whether the required output is desired or not. If it is desired, then the proper system work in proper stages as we want. But if the undesired result is come out, then it means unexpected and unexpected changes will happen in any of the states. Then we have to move to previous stages to get what the error is and what the problem that will happen. Now, waterfall model is the best and the first example of software development lifecycle. So in this, in any of the model, all these stages will definitely work. Here, information modeling, after that requirement analysis, then designing, and then code generation. Once the code generation is done, that means implementation phase is done, the testing will be performed, and after testing, if complete process is appropriate, then delivery and the support system. So this model has a total 6 stages. It is also known as classic life cycle model. That means linear sequential model. Why it is called a sequential model? Because it is performed in a series, in a linear series, one by one. The all stages will be performed. Once the first stage is done, the output of the first stage act as a input of the second stage, and the same process is going from second to third, third to fourth, and so on. So this is called a linear sequential model. It is also known as systematic sequential approach to the software development. Here, development is seen as following downward like a waterfall. Why it is called a waterfall model? Because the working of this particular model acts as a waterfall. uh, in the mountain area, when water is flowing, it will move from upward to downward direction. So in similar way, here all the stages move from first stage to sixth stage. It means once the documentation is done, then the requirement analysis will be performed, and once the requirement analysis will be done, then the implementation phase, code generation phase will be covered. So in same scenario, waterfall is flowing. That's why it is called a waterfall model. It begins at system level model and progress through analysis, coding, designing, and testing support. Here is the example of the waterfall model. One first complete requirement specification. When the requirements are fully completed, one proceed to the designing phase. Once the designing and requirement is done, then it moves to the implementation part. After the implementation is done completely, then coding will be performed by the programmer. After implementation phase complete, software product is tested and debugged. If there is any error, then remove from that particular phase, and if there is proper working, then go to next phase. Then software product is installed and later maintained to add new functions that the user need or remove the bugs. Thus, in waterfall model, we can move to the next step only when the previous step is completed and remove all the errors of that particular stage. It can't go back. It means there is no rollback between the stages. If I am at second stage and I want to switch to the first stage, it is not possible. I will definitely move to the third stage after the completion of second stage. It means once the water is flowing downward, it is not possible to move the direction from downward to upward. It is always flowing as a upward to downward direction. So once the particular stage is completed, we can't reach again at that stage after the completion of the process. So here the description of the all phases. Information modeling phase. In this phase, we begin by gathering information related to the existing system. It consists all the hardware, people, database, etc. In requirement analysis phase, the problem specified along with desired objective. All the constants are identified. All the information about the function, behavior, performance are documented. If it is checked by a customer, then it gives yes or no reply. System is processed in that scenario. Once the requirement analysis is done, the designing phase will be covered. In this phase, all input computation and output of the system should be converted into software model. And that software model helps to code generation phase. In code generation phase, designing has to be translated into machine readable form using the programming language suitable for that particular project. Any of the high level language will be used here. After the code generation phase completed, the testing phase is tested the code. It focus on the statement of the software and remove all the errors that are unintentionally inserted in the code. It ensures the proper input will produce actual desired result. I'm saying actual desired result. There is difference between result and desired result. Result is anything but what we get, and desired result is what we want to achieve. I got that particular result. The detailed documentation from the design phase can be significantly reduce the coding efforts because we know about what the previous one did. Once all the errors were removed, then delivery and support stage will be done. The final product is delivered to the customer and it takes care of the maintenance of the product. In this phase, the meat of the changing customer needs adapted to accommodate changes in external environment. Any correct error that are not previously known in testing phase, enhancing the efficiency of the software. So this is all about a waterfall model. It is similar to that of waterfall scenario. In same way, there are multiple system development phases and there are so many models. They all work differently, but they all cover all these stages in a similar way. They all have to cover all the stages. So this is all about this topic. Now the short and important key points about the development life cycle is what do you mean by life cycle? What do you mean by a development? What do you mean by a software? Or basically what do you mean by a system? Because it is system development life cycle. So there are many types of SDLC. What are these types and how they all cover all the stages? What is the purpose of particular stage? What do you mean by a waterfall model? So all these are key points that we must know about them. I hope this is clear to all of you. Thank you.